Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Tracy Vickers Little League Field here in Chapmanville, West Virginia for Day 3 of the 11 and 12-year-old District 2 tournament. Chris Kidd here with you with Robbie Mounts, our engineer, on video productions, as we have a triple header set for you today. Our first game will take place here momentarily between the Mullens All-Stars and the Sandy River All-Stars, as this will be our first elimination game of this tournament. And at approximately 3 o'clock, we will have Madison versus Mann and another elimination game. And then our final game of today at approximately 5 o'clock will be between the Chapmanville All-Stars and the Logan All-Stars here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field. So we've got a fun day ahead of you here on this 4th of July weekend. We hope all of you are having a good time today, and we hope that you join us throughout the rest of your afternoon for all of these Little League contests here today. Again, Chapmanville and Logan will not be an elimination game later on today, as that will be a game to decide who will move on to the state tournament in Martinsburg later this month. So whoever loses that game will still have another opportunity on Wednesday to move on out of whoever comes out of this losers bracket, as we've got 4 teams duking it out today. So the 2 winners at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock will meet up tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to see who moves into the finals of the losers bracket for a chance to move on to the state tournament. So out of these 6 teams, 2 teams will advance to the state tournament later on this month, but Chapmanville and Logan getting the first crack at it later on today. And Mullens, this will be their 3rd game of this tournament. This will be the 2nd for Sandy River. Sandy River ended up playing on Friday against Logan in a close game early on. It was 6-4. Logan led it until they broke it open in the 4th inning and scored 8 runs that inning in order to win it 14-4 in 4 innings in a 10-run rule shortened game. And that moved Logan on initially to yesterday, where they were able to win as well and set up that opportunity with Chapmanville later on today, as Mullens was able to get by Madison on Friday 7-4 in their first game, and then yesterday faced off against Chapmanville in the winners bracket semifinal, and Chapmanville was able to win that ball game 15-5. It did go the distance. Chapmanville was able to score 5 runs in the 6th inning in order to make that a much larger win than what it appeared at first. But Mullens has played some good baseball in these first couple of contests, and now going to try and take out Sandy River in their first Little League state tournament appearance, or Little League tournament appearance, I should say, as they played well the other night. Now going to try and replicate that here today. So should have 3 good ball games for you here today from Chapmanville, as Sandy River takes the field. They'll be the designated visiting or home team today, while Mullens will be the designated visiting team. So Mullens will get the first crack at it here today, as we'll run through the lineup for the Mullens All-Stars. They'll be led off by Henry Van Dunk, who will be playing first base. Then you have Braxton Knuckles, the third baseman, batting second. Batting in the 3rd spot will be the catcher James Wood. In the cleanup hole will be the shortstop Ryder Chapman, batting 5th. And being on the mound today will be Riker Shrewsbury. Then batting 6th and playing second base will be T.T. McKinney. Batting in the 7th spot will be Mason Bailey, the center fielder. In the 8th hole is Isaac Shrewsbury, the right fielder. And rounding out the lineup for Mullens today will be Hunter Hill, the left fielder. Coming off the bench today will be Chase Price for Mullens. As in the infield for the Sandy River All-Stars, at third base you have Bailey. At shortstop you have Anthony Matney. At second base will be Baker. Over at first base will be Braden Matney. In the outfield and left field you have Colt Blankenship. In center field you have Lee. And in right field is Talon Blankenship. On the mound is Connor Allville today. And then you have Graham behind home plate, who was the starting pitcher the other night for Sandy River against Logan. And that's going to be the big thing today for both these teams, as well as their pitch counts and the pitchers that they use in these contests. Again, if you go over 20 pitches, then you have to have 1 day's rest. Mullens was able to navigate that quite nicely yesterday against Chapmanville, as they were able to use 6 different pitchers, and I believe 5 of them still eligible minus the starting pitcher yesterday for Mullens. as we're finally ready to go here from Tracy Vickers Field. And it'll be Henry Van Dunk to get things underway at the plate here for Mullens, as first pitch from Allville misses inside, and we're underway. Van Dunk has had a very good tournament thus far. He's 4 of 6 overall in the 2 games. This one lifted high in the air to center field. Coming on and making the grab is Lee, and that'll be out number 1. So now it'll be 4 of 7 overall for Van Dunk. He had struck out, reached on an error, that fly out that just occurred. He had 2 walks and 4 singles, including an RBI thus far. Now that'll bring up Braxton Knuckles. Knuckles 2 of 7 in this district tournament, swing and a miss, 0-1. Knuckles has 2 strikeouts, reached on 2 fielder's choices, had a ground out and also a pair of singles to his credit. He has 2 RBIs overall for Mullens. This one hit hard over the head of the shortstop, and that'll land into left center field for a single. There's the 3rd hit of the tournament for Knuckles. Now that'll bring up James Wood. James Wood 3 of 5 in this district tournament, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. And he's almost gone for the cycle. He's got a single, a double, and that solo home run blast that still hasn't landed yet. Again, he absolutely destroyed a ball over the left center field wall yesterday against Chapmanville. So Wood with 3 RBIs thus far in this tournament. We've talked a lot about his wood bat that he's had in this tournament too, as this one comes inside and misses. Count even at 1-1. Big rip by Wood, but Allville able to get it by him, and now the count moves to 1-2. Again, Allville throws strikes. Again, doesn't come with a lot of power, but he does challenge these hitters, and he has early on. 1-2, called strike 3 on the outside corner. So Allville off to a nice start here this afternoon. Gets his first strikeout, his 2nd out of the inning. Now the batter will be Ryder Chapman. First pitch to Chapman misses outside, 1-0. Chapman is 1 for 6 in this district tournament. 3 strikeouts, a ground out, hit into a fielder's choice, 2 walks, and a double. This one hit hard towards third. Knocked down by Bailey, goes over to second base, but not in time for the force out. So that'll keep the inning moving here for Mullens, still with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ryder Shrewsbury, the opposing pitcher. Shrewsbury 2 for 4 in this tournament, 2 ground outs and 2 singles to his credit. That pitch misses, gets away, runners will take off, and now you've got 2 runners in scoring position for Mullens. It's a chance for them to strike early. In for a strike, 1-1. Coming inside this time is Allville, and that one will miss. 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss there as the bottom dropped out of that one for Allville. Now the count evens up at 2-2. So a chance for Allville to get out of this inning unscathed now. That one will just miss as Graham tried to frame it, didn't get the call, and now the count runs full. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Allville able to leave 2 stranded as he gets a pair of strikeouts here on the top of the first inning. So 1 hit, 2 men left on. We go to the bottom of the first inning, no score yet here from Chapmanville, West Virginia, as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Patient experience rating 2 years running. Our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now Boone Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
At Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 119.
Bottom of the first inning we head as Mullens in the field for the first time and Sandy River coming to bat for the first time. Chris Kidd with you with Robbie Mounts, our engineer, as we'll run through the starting lineup and batting order here for Sandy River. Leading off will be Colt Blankenship, the left fielder. Then you have Anthony Matney, the shortstop, batting second. In the 3 spot is Caden Baker, the second baseman. Batting cleanup will be Jeremiah Graham, the opposing catcher. Then in the 5 hole, you have center fielder Peyton Lee. Batting 6th will be Kenley Bailey, the third baseman. Batting 7th will be Talon Blankenship, the right fielder. Then you have Braden Matney, the first baseman, batting 8th. And Connor Alvell, the opposing pitcher, batting 9th for Sandy River. Coming off the bench for Sandy River today will be Blake Adams, Zach Wolford, and Austin Owens. Defensively for the Mullens All-Stars, you have Knuckles at third base, who's had an outstanding tournament defensively thus far. Then you have Chapman at shortstop, McKinney at second, Van Dunk at first. In the outfield and left field, you have Hill. Center field is Bailey, and right field is Isaac Shrewsbury. On the mound will be Riker Shrewsbury, and behind home plate will be Wood. So we saw Riker Shrewsbury a little bit yesterday against Chapmanville in the later innings as Mullens was trying to preserve as many arms as they possibly could. And Chapman is the only one that isn't available for Mullens. He threw a complete game against Madison the other night as that went in for a strike from Shrewsbury, 0-1. Colt Blankenship only had one at bat against Logan the other day. He was hit by a pitch in his only plate appearance, nearly got hit again right there. Shrewsbury came inside but missed. That one right down the pipe, looking from Blankenship, 1-2. That one will miss a little low to Blankenship. Now the count evens up at 2-2. And again, if Mullens was able to get through today and tomorrow, then they would have Chapman available to pitch on Wednesday as they're just swinging a miss by Blankenship, strike 3. So one away here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Anthony Matney. Matney was 1 for 2 against Logan with a strikeout, a walk, and a single and an RBI in that contest. That one missed a little high from Shrewsbury, 1-0. But if Mullens is able to get by today and tomorrow, that would be a big boost for them to get Chapman back. That one comes inside, 2-0. Obviously, first things first, you have to get through today. But Mullens has definitely been a very sound team in the field and been able to make a lot of contact at the plate. They've been a tough team to go up against thus far in this tournament. As that one in for a strike from Shrewsbury, 2-1. That one missing low, and now the count moves to 3-1. That one paints the inside corner from Shrewsbury. The count now runs full. We saw Sandy River be extremely patient against Logan the other day in that first matchup at the plate, and there's ball 4. they were able to benefit a lot from walks from Logan. I believe it was about 7 walks in all and a pair of hit batters in that game, which helped keep Sandy River in the contest. They didn't put a ball in play until the 4th inning of that game. It was either strikeout or walk from the Logan pitcher, so literally feast or famine in that game on the mound. That one's going to catch Baker right in the back. Baker appears to be okay, but he was 1 for 1 against Logan with 2 walks and a single and an RBI the other day, and he's still kind of feeling that out over there where he got hit in the back shoulder that time. It's just one of those going to sting for a little bit, but he appears to be okay now, and that'll bring up Jeremiah Graham. Graham pitched well against Logan the other day. He just ran out of pitches. He got to 85 pitches by the 4th inning. He was 0 for 3 at the plate against Logan, though, with 3 strikeouts. That'll be a ball from Shrewsbury, 1-0. And that will miss inside 2-0. So Shrewsbury, after his opening at bat against Blankenship, having a little trouble locating the strike zone now. This one hit back up the middle from Graham, and that'll be his first hit of the tournament and might give Sandy River their first lead. Rounding third, coming to the plate, throw won't come in, and now they could have had Graham in a rundown over at first and second base, but the throw went over to third and allows both runners to move up. So a 1-0 lead for Sandy River here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Again, it looked like McKinney had the runner. Graham caught between first and second that time. Instead elected to throw over to third base, and that allowed Graham to sneak on over into second. So now that'll bring up Peyton Lee. He fouls one off on the inside, 0-1. Lee was 1 for 3 against Logan with 2 strikeouts and a single on Friday. This one comes inside and misses. There's a strike from Shrewsbury. He pumps a fastball in, gets ahead now on Lee, 1-2. This one fouled off hard to the right side by Lee. There's strike 3 called as he gets Lee on the outer half. There's the second strikeout of the inning from Shrewsbury. A big one at that. It's now runners at second and third with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Kenley Bailey. Bailey, she was walked in her only plate appearance the other day against Logan. There's a swing and a miss, 0-1. Shrewsbury comes back with another fastball and a swing and a miss, and the count now moves quickly to 0-2. So a chance for Shrewsbury to leave runners at second and third here in the bottom of the 1st, and he will do so. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so Shrewsbury strikes out the side. But an RBI single by Jeremiah Graham gives Sandy River the lead, 1-0, as we go to the top of the 2nd inning. We'll be back after this 60-second break as you are watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball, presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia, has grown to become so much more. Introducing Boone Memorial Health, a modern state-of-the-art healthcare provider that has expanded its technology, capabilities, and footprint to meet the needs of our growing service area. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. Our commitment to the communities we serve goes even further as we look to the future to make our region a better place to live, work, learn, and play. We are now Boone Memorial Health. And for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd here with you today from Tracy Vickers Little League Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. We are in day 3 of the 11 and 12-year-old district tournament, and Sandy River leading 1-0 here in the early going against Mullens in this first of 2 elimination games today. And then in our third game, we'll crown a champion here in this district as Chapmanville and Logan take on each other to see who will cash in on the first trip to the state tournament. And then the second tournament ticket will be punched in on Wednesday evening whenever the 2 teams out of the losers bracket face off at 6 p.m. So these will be our last afternoon games of this state tournament before moving to the early afternoon or early evening starts on Tuesday and Wednesday here from Chapmanville. And then the state tournament will be held in Martinsburg later on this month. So Auville coming out for his second inning of work. Was able to work around a single from Braxton Knuckles. And then runners getting to second and third, but was able to strike out Ryder Shrewsbury to end the inning. And now it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters this inning for Mullens. As T.T. McKinney will lead things off for Mullens. First pitch fouled straight back, right into the tube, 0-1. So McKinney is 1 for 7 in this tournament. 4 strikeouts, a ground out, reached on an error, walked, and had a bunt single. This one comes inside and skips, and they're going to say it caught McKinney in the foot before it hit the ground, so McKinney will reach base. Now that'll bring up Mason Bailey. It's Bailey in this tournament, 2 for 5 for Mullens, 2 strikeouts, a ground out, a walk, along with 2 singles. He has also 2 RBIs. His first pitch will miss high, 1-0. Now the runner takes off for second, and McKinney will be in safe. And luckily for Sandy River, that ball ricocheted right to the second baseman, Baker, after that. And McKinney was batting leadoff for the first 2 games of this tournament, and head coach Rory Chapman and Ricky Shrewsbury changing things up a little bit in the lineup, but McKinney still with all that speed out on the base path. You have to be aware of him as Bailey swings and misses, 1-1. Coaches for Sandy River, the head coach Brian DeLong, assistant coach Matt West. Swing and a miss by Bailey. Count now moves to 1-2. McKinney still out there dancing around at second base, trying to throw Auville off. Maybe induce a throw from Graham, see if he can take on third base. This one hit, a slow roller towards first. Braden Matney up with it, a race to the bag, and he'll win it and retire Bailey for the first out of the inning. But Bailey does move the runner up to third base now, and McKinney, representing the tying run, gives Isaac Shrewsbury a chance to even things up. As Isaac Shrewsbury 0 for 3 in the tournament, 2 strikeouts, a pop out, was hit by a pitch and walked as he chops this one off of home plate, 0-1. Auville delivers. This one's going to miss outside. Auville takes a deep breath and comes set. This one hit high in the air to left field, going over his Colt Blankenship and off his glove. And here comes McKinney. He'll score to tie the game at 1. Moving over to second is Isaac Shrewsbury. And that'll bring up Hunter Hill now. And the sun's been a issue for a lot of the outfielders in this tournament. We've seen several have trouble navigating it. Right there may have messed with Blankenship a little bit over in left field as Hill swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Hill 0 for 3 in the tournament with 3 strikeouts thus far. Looking to try and break that string right here and see if he can maybe give Mullens the lead. And that one hit into right field, and that gets through. Shrewsbury will round third. He'll come to the plate, and Mullens has taken a 2-1 lead here in the top of the second as the throw into the infield gets away, and Hill will move over to second base. So Hunter Hill with his first hit of this district tournament. Turns out to be a big one and his first RBI. That'll bring things back to the top of the order here for Mullens. As Henry Van Dunk flew out to center field his first time up. This one chopped back up the middle. Charging on it is Matney. He'll throw over to first, but it's not going to be in time as Van Dunk was able to beat it out. That'll be an infield hit for Van Dunk. It's now his 5th hit of this tournament. He's been so efficient at the plate and in the field. He's been one of the better players in this tournament thus far and continues that hot streak here today as that'll bring up Braxton Knuckles. Knuckles singled into left field his first time up. This one hit hard back up the middle. Matney knocks it down. He'll get the force out at second base but won't get the double play, and that will allow a run to score from third. And now Mullens has taken a 3-1 lead here in the top of the second inning. That'll bring up James Wood. Wood struck out in his first plate appearance against Auville. Takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. I like the American flag little wrap that he has on the bottom of his bat here today for Wood. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. A little bit of a different look, too, for Mullens from yesterday. Again, you had the hard-throwing Fleming, and now you got Auville who comes with more off-speed stuff today as Wood hits this one towards Matney, and that one will get through into left field. Rounding second, digging for third here, and getting in safely will be Knuckles, and that'll put runners at the corners. So Matney's gotten a lot of work out at shortstop here in this second inning. Now that'll bring up Ryder Chapman. Chapman foul tips it away. Count now to 0-1. And Chapman hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. This one he fouls straight back into the screen, 0-2. So Auville trying to limit the damage here in the top of the second inning. That one's going to miss and get in the dirt as Wood will move over to second base now with no throw from Graham. They don't want to risk the double steal situation with Knuckles at third base. And now a base hit from Chapman. Could plate a couple of more runs here for Mullens. This one's slapped back up the middle, slow roller off the hands of Auville. Not going to have a play, and that'll score a run. And now it is 4-1 in favor of Mullens. As Knuckles comes in, and Chapman will pick up an RBI. That'll be his first of the tournament. Now he'll have the 9th batter of the inning coming up in Ryder Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury struck out in the first inning. A chance to help his own cause here. This one hit high and hard into right center field, and making the catch is Talon Blankenship to retire Mullens here in the top of the second inning. But Mullens does plate 4 runs. They'll take a 4-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the second inning. As you take a look at it here on our replay as we go to break, you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
In Peytonville, there's lots of ways to save on auto insurance.
Really?
Yep. Very proud of that. With Smart Ride from Nationwide, they can get discounts for safe driving.
Does she get one?
Mrs. Carmichael, safest driver in Peytonville, takes a lot of work and effort to be the safest driver in Peytonville.
What about this guy?
With Nationwide Smart Miles, the less he drives, the less he pays. The list of inspiring stories goes on and on.
I bet. I've never seen anyone do more with their retirement than you.
I concur.
Bottom of the second inning we head now with Mullens leading at 4-1 over Sandy River. Chris Kidd with you with Robbie Mounts, our engineer. There's a hard hit ball right back up the middle by Talon Blankenship, but went right to Shrewsbury, and he'll throw him out at first for the first out of the inning. Well, turnabout's fair play. Talon Blankenship robbed Shrewsbury of a hit at the end of the top of the second inning. And in one pitch, Shrewsbury gets payback, and he robs Blankenship of a hit to start the bottom of the second inning. Now to bring up Braden Matney. He's 0 for 1 in the tournament. As against Logan, he struck out and had a walk in that contest. There's a swing and a miss, 0 and 1. Matney fouls this one off to the right, quickly to 0 and 2. Shrewsbury will shake off one sign. Now he comes with what he wants. Tried to get him with an off-speed pitch that time. It's a good pitch. Matney did a great job of fouling that off. We've seen Matney make a couple of good defensive plays over at first base, both on Friday and today so far. Now trying to find a hit here to get a rally going for Sandy River in the bottom of the second. That one's going to skip in low and miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one's going to miss. 2 and 2 now the count. Swing and a miss as Shrewsbury comes with gas that time and puts Matney away for the second out of the inning. Now it'll bring up Connor Allville, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. Allville was 0 for 1 against Logan. He walked and he struck out in his 2 plate appearances. First pitch will miss low and away. Shrewsbury deals this one foul tipped away from Wood, and count now evens up at a ball and a strike. Nobody on for Sandy River here in the bottom of the second inning in this elimination game. Winner of this game will get either Man or Madison, the winner of the next contest here from Tracy Vickers Field. This one and hit hard towards third, knocked down by Knuckles, goes right to Chapman, throws to first in time for the out. Boy, you don't see that happen often, as Knuckles had a beat on it, just missed making the grab, ricocheted right to Chapman, who alertly picked it up and threw him out. Let's take a look at it here again on our instant replay. Again, tough play for Knuckles, but did a great job knocking it down and gave Chapman that opportunity. So your traditional 5-6-3 put out, and that'll do it for the bottom of the second inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Shrewsbury, and we'll go to the top of the third with Mullens leading it 4-1. Back after this as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Want it? Click it.
Reserve it and drive it.
Buy it at Thornhill.
Buy it at Thornhill.
Buy it at Thornhill. That's right. Getting your new vehicle just got easier.
Visit any of our 6 locations and get a personalized experience in preferencing your next new vehicle.
Tag one of our pre-built invoices.
Or let's customize your exact features with our easy built-to-order process.
All we have to offer with shopping ease at ThornhillAutomotive.com.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride on the
Thornhill Motor Mile.
A new day begins, and what happens today must be covered, reported, and passed on to everyone in the region we serve. We are journalists, staff writers, editors, storytellers. Who are we? We are HD Media, trustworthy and always here for the times we live in.
Start at the top of the third inning here from Tracy Vickers Field. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Robbie Mounts, our engineer. As Mullens batted around in the top of the second inning. Now it'll be back to T.T. McKinney, who started out the second inning being hit by a pitch. This one hit slow back up the middle. Tough play for Matney, especially with the speed of McKinney, and he's able to beat it out for an infield hit. Anytime that kid gets the ball on the ground, it's just going to be a nightmare to try and throw him out. There's the second hit of the inning, or second hit of the tournament now for McKinney. That'll bring up Mason Bailey. He grounded out to first base last inning. Was able to move the runner over and led to a run from McKinney. This swing and a miss, 0-1. As McKinney will take off her second, ball gets into the outfield. Thought about taking off for third, but Lee did a good job of backing it up that time. It was pretty much the same story as last inning. McKinney was able to wait it out and then steal second base. And puts himself in scoring position here for Bailey. That one's going to miss inside, 1-1. Fastball misses high. Now McKinney takes off for third base, and he's going to get in cleanly. He's had a little bit of a collision with Bailey that time, but thankfully she was able to stay up on her feet. But McKinney able to steal from first to third now. I believe that puts him at about 4 steals for this district tournament. And this one hit towards third, gets through into left field, and that one will score McKinney. And now it is a 5-1 lead for Mullens here in the top of the third. Now the batter will be Isaac Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury reached on an error his last time up. That one just missed, 1-0. Swing and a miss from Shrewsbury on the outer half. A ball and a strike now to the Mullens right fielder. This one chopped off of home plate and foul. Zawville looking for the first out of the inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one's going to miss high, and now the count evens up at 2-2. This one hit towards short, another slow roller. That one's going to get through into left field, and everyone will be safe. So still nobody out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Now runners at first and second for Mullens. So that'll bring up Hunter Hill now. Hill had an RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Zawville gets ahead 0-1. Goes after that high fastball and got it into the Sandy River dugout that time. That's a pretty neat trick right there. It's hard to navigate the top of that fence and then the bottom of that dugout, but Hill was able to do so there. But that gets Zawville ahead now 0-2. There's strike 3 called as Zawville gets the first out of the inning. And the runner really threatening to try and go to third right now, and now they'll move back over to second base as Bailey got halfway over towards third, and Graham did the right thing throwing over to third just to chase him back. We'll get things back to the top of the order now for Mullens as Henry Van Dunk stands in. He had an infield single his last time up. Flew out to center field his first time, hits it high in the air to center field. Lee there, and he'll make the grab for the second out of the inning. So Van Dunk's hit the ball hard to center field both times, but they've just been at him balls, just been right at him. So that'll bring up Braxton Knuckles. And Knuckles, 1 for 2 in this tournament, or in this ball game. He singled to left field. He hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. That went right down the pipe for a strike, 0-1. This one sliced towards second base, and nice grab by Baker over there to end the inning and keep Mullens at just 1 run overall. But Mullens does tack on to their lead as they'll take a 5-1 lead into the bottom of the 3rd. We'll be back after this break as you are watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
What started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now Boone Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
5-1, Mullens leads Sandy River as we start the bottom of the third inning. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Robbie Mounts, our engineer. Butch Mounts, executive producer of Video Productions. As it's back to the top of the order now for Sandy River. As Shrewsbury, first pitch chopped toward the first base side, and that'll roll foul. Blankenship struck out back in the first inning to lead the game off for Sandy River. That one will miss outside, even at a ball and a strike. And that one misses over the head of Blankenship, just getting out of the way of that one. This one chopped off of home plate, and that'll be foul, so now it count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The leadoff man for Sandy River. This hot and humid 4th of July day. And that one's going to miss and skip in low, so the count now to 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch from Shrewsbury. This one hit right back to him. He'll field it cleanly over to Van Dunk. Makes a nice stretching catch for the first out of the inning. So now the batter will be Anthony Matney. Matney walked back in the first inning and scored the only run of the game thus far for Sandy River. That one's going to miss low. Nice stop by Wood. This one ripped into right field, and that one will fall for a base hit. So 1-out single by Matney. Now brings Sandy River to the heart of the order as Caden Baker, the number 3 hitter, will stand in. That's the second hit of the game for Sandy River. The other by Graham, who's now on deck. Baker was hit by a pitch his first time up. So he'll take a strike to start out this at bat, 0-1. That one's going to miss low and away as Shrewsbury tried to go back to the same location as the last pitch. This one hit hard over towards second, took a tough hop and gets into right field. Rounding second and heading for third will be Matney, and now runners at the corners here for Sandy River. That'll bring up Jeremiah Graham, the cleanup hitter. Graham had an RBI single to center field his last time up. That broke him out of his 0-for-3 start for this district tournament. Now an opportunity to drive in another run and perhaps keep this inning going for Sandy River, turn this into a big inning for them. That pitch is going to miss and get away. Here comes the runner to the plate. Here comes Baker back, or Wood back, and not in time in order to get the runner. Again, Shrewsbury looked like he got there in time, but Wood tried to beat Matney back to home plate, but Matney was able to get there by a step, and now it's 5-2 in favor of Mullens. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Shrewsbury shakes off one sign. This one's going to miss and get away, and that's going to move the runner up to third now. Now Baker. Chance to cut this lead to 2 if he's able to get in. Graham with a good hitter's count here at 2-0. Hits it off the inside of his bat. Tough play. Knuckles knocks it down, but he's not going to have a play at first, and a run will score and it's now 5-3 in favor of Mullens. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate now for Sandy River. Lee struck out back in the first inning. This one hit high and foul out towards the right side, and that'll get out of play over onto the adjacent field. This one's going to be fouled over towards the third base side, so Lee's tested out the right side and the left side of the foul territory. Now climbs back in, down 0-2. That one's going to skip in and miss, and that's going to allow Graham to move over to second base. He takes a big turn towards third, but he'll hold there. And Shrewsbury at 50 pitches now for the contest. 51 misses low. Now they throw down to third, and no one was there, and that's going to get into left field. Lee's going to round third. He's going to come to the plate, and he's going to score. And all of a sudden, this is a 5-4 game. Actually, Graham able to do so. And I think they thought maybe that Graham was going to take off for third that time. He kind of hesitated, and then the throw down to third. Knuckles wasn't expecting it, and it got all the way into left field. So now 2-1 count with one out here in the bottom of the third inning. That one misses inside. Now 3-1. Starting to see Shrewsbury getting more and more upset now on the mound as this inning progresses. That one misses inside as well. Ball 4, so Lee reaches. So after getting the first out of the inning, 3 straight hits and a walk. Now giving Sandy River an opportunity to try and retake the lead perhaps here as Austin Owens will check in. He'll bat in place of Kenley Bailey. Shrewsbury able to get ahead, 0-1. Comes right back down the pipe with a fastball, swing and a miss, 0-2. Shrewsbury trying to settle himself down here. See if he can get control of this inning back from Mullens, and there he does so. Strike 3 swinging. So he retires Owens on 3 pitches. Now the batter will be Zach Wolford. Wolford walked in his only plate appearance against Logan the other day. Count 1-0 now. Wolford took a step out that time just as Shrewsbury was delivering that pitch, and that went in for a strike, 1-1. That one misses just outside, and that'll allow Lee to move over to second base. It gets away. So a base hit here from Wolford could tie the game up after Sandy River trailed 5-1 at the start of this inning. That one will miss inside, 3-1. Shrewsbury now at 60 pitches for the afternoon. Again, 85 is the limit. 54 pitches for Auvel through 3 innings. And that one's going to miss ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning given up by Shrewsbury, and now his third of the game. You got to imagine that the heat down there on the field starts to probably start zapping you as this goes along. So it's going to be a fatigue type of day for a lot of these players. And that'll bring up Braden Matney. Matney struck out in the second inning. But now has an opportunity here to try and tie this game, or if he can find one in the gap, perhaps give Sandy River the lead. But there's a strike from Shrewsbury, 0-1. Matney goes fishing after that one and comes up empty, and quickly Shrewsbury ahead 0-2. So Shrewsbury trying to put an end here to the bottom of the third inning. Comes inside and catches the inside corner for strike 3, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the third. But Mullens sees their 5-1 lead shrink now to 5-4 as Sandy River plates 3 here in this inning. We're halfway home here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field in this first elimination game of the day. Back after this break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. We never stop because life never stops.
At Childers Enterprises, your comfort is our business. We're always on the go. Childers Enterprises is your train comfort specialist in Southern West Virginia. Choose train and feel pretty comfortable in your home.
Make that one call to Childers Enterprises for your free estimate.
It's hard to stop a train.
Hi, I'm Zachy Lawton. I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. When I'm back home in Charleston, you can find me in my local Par-Mar store.
We had that gold and blue pride at Par-Mar. There are literally hundreds of Par-Mar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Par-Mar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Par-Mar. West Virginia proud, West Virginia strong, and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
James Wood at the plate here to start the top of the fourth inning for the Mullens All-Stars. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer, for today's contest, as this is game 1 of 3 today here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field, as Wood lifts one a mile high behind home plate, and Graham had a chance for it, but unable to make the basket catch. So Wood gets an extra life here. It's count even at 1-1. Wood today 0 for 2. He struck out and reached on an error in his 2 plate appearances. Swing and a miss. Count now to 1-2. And Wood had that massive home run yesterday against Chapmanville. And there's strike 3 on the outside corner. It's Allville now at 58 pitches. He's been efficient thus far today. And the batter now will be Ryder Chapman. This one slapped towards third, cleanly fielded by Owens. Long throw, Matney able to make the grab over at first. Wow, what a throw and what a catch by Matney, especially to throw out Ryder Chapman with all that speed down the first baseline. So 2 quick outs here for Sandy River in the top of the 4th, and that'll bring up Riker Shrewsbury. And this will be exactly what the doctor ordered for Sandy River. If they can get a quick 1-2-3 inning here, as there's a strike on the outside corner. Again, especially after plating those 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, they've got all the momentum at the moment. Shrewsbury 0 for 2 today, struck out and then flew out to right field his 2nd time up. That one going to miss high, now 2-1. And the winner of this game moves on to tomorrow at 6 p.m. The losers' season is over. Both teams coming in with 1 loss in this district tournament. Mullens losing to Chapmanville after they beat Madison the other night. And Sandy River losing to Logan in their only appearance thus far in the tournament. That's going to miss ball 4 outside, so Shrewsbury will get a 2-out walk. And that is the first walk issued of the game by Auville. That'll bring up T.T. McKinney. McKinney, 1 for 1 today, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and then singled on the infield in the 3rd inning. That one foul tipped back into the screen, 0-1. Well, Auville and Shrewsbury now evened up at 64 pitches apiece in this game, albeit Shrewsbury still has the entire bottom half of the inning to go after this. This one going to be a tough play. Slow roller to Owens at 3rd, goes towards 2nd, and in time for the force out. And that'll do it for the top of the 4th inning. So a big lift for Sandy River. As they go to the bottom of the 4th, they trail it only by 1. We'll be back after this break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball, presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Hi, my name's Zach Frazier, and I'm from Fairmont, West Virginia. And when I'm back at home in Fairmont, you'll find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden blue pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
At Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 1.
we've got a tight one here going to the bottom of the fourth inning at Tracy Vickers Little League Field. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me, Robbie Mounts, for today's first game of the day as Sandy River in their first 11 and 12-year-old tournament, and not going quietly as they battled Logan to 4 innings the other night before Logan broke it open, and now here today, Mullens led it 5-1 going into the bottom of the third. Sandy River getting 3 runs back, and then a quick top half of the inning. So now the pressure going to be back on Mullens here to try and stave off this Sandy River club that does have several 10-year-olds on their roster as well. You know, when I talked with Coach DeLong and Coach West some of the dugout on Friday before the game started, and they said, you know, we're just really young, really inexperienced, trying to just give these kids a chance to come out here and play in this, and said we had to get some 10-year-olds as well just to be able to fill up the roster. So you could tell that they were maybe a little bit nervous about what their chances might be, but they've come out and they've definitely earned their respect in these 2 games and may even earn another game if they can find a way to get to Shrewsbury again here this inning. That's Auville, who has been great on the mound today for Sandy River. Now will step in. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Shrewsbury starts things off with a strike, 0-1. Depending on the length of this inning, this might be the last inning for Shrewsbury. He misses inside, 1-1. As he and Auville both now at 66 pitches each. And again, 85 is the pitch limit. So that one's going to miss low and away, 2-1. But Mullens does have the availability of most all of their arms. After yesterday, again, they threw 6 pitchers yesterday for just joining us. That went in for a strike to Auville, 2-2. Coach Chapman did a great job of making sure he saved everyone once Chapmanville got out to a pretty big lead, and he knew that they were maybe going to have to navigate their way through the bottom half of this bracket. This one, slow hit towards second, takes a funny hop, and McKinney up with it, fires over to Van Dunk in time for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. So now that'll bring up top of the order with Colt Blankenship. He's 0 for 2 today, struck out and grounded out back to the pitcher. But being able to save all those arms does give them a lot more availability than what they might have had otherwise. First pitch misses to Blankenship, 1-0. Now on the other hand with Sandy River, not exactly sure who they'll go to once Auville reaches 85 pitches, should he do so. He only has 19 remaining. And again, Graham pitched all 85 of his pitches the other day against Logan. There's a swing and a miss by Adams, as it's actually Blake Adams batting in place of Colt Blankenship here. As that will be all 3 players off the bench now for Sandy River getting their at-bats as he fouls this one off. 1-2 now the count. Adams was 0 for 2 against Logan with 2 strikeouts the other day. Shrewsbury shakes off a couple of signs. Now comes set. This one fouled off by Adams, backing out of play. And I tell you what, the brave souls that park close to the ballpark, they got a lot more confidence in the ability of these kids not to hit their cars than me. Robbie just said I'm parked pretty close over here. I parked all the way over near the high school, so if they hit my car, they earned it. That one will miss inside 2-2. And my car's nothing special to hit, but it's what I got. So I said we were in Lewisburg whenever one of our co-workers got their car hit there in the Little League State Tournament a few years ago. And that one misses outside 3-2. Yeah, it hit right through the front of the windshield too. So I still remember the worst one I saw was over in Man maybe about 10 years ago whenever we were doing the Little League Tournament. There's a boy from Man, big old kid, just absolutely destroyed a ball to center field, and you saw it coming. That truck had no chance, and it just took it right through the front of the windshield. That's going to be ball 4 as it misses behind Adams. And Shrewsbury got ahead 1-2, but ends up losing him, and now that'll put a runner on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and bringing up Anthony Matney, who's 1 of 1 today, walked in the 1st inning, singled to right field his last time up. Yeah, once that ball went through the windshield, you didn't hear the crowd cheering, man. You just heard a collective, oh. That one hit towards second, possible double play ball. McKinney over to second for 1, over to first, in time for 2. And a big double play turn by Mullens that time to end the bottom of the 4th inning. We head to the top of the 5th now, with Mullens still clinging to a 1-run lead at 5-4. As you see it again here on our instant replay. Our first double play turned in the field here in this district tournament. You're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball, presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Want it? Click it. Reserve it and drive it.
Buy it at Thornhill.
Buy it at Thornhill.
Buy it at Thornhill. That's right. Getting your new vehicle just got easier.
Visit any of our 6 locations and get a personalized experience in preferencing your next new vehicle.
Tag one of our pre-built invoices.
Or let's customize your exact features with our easy built-to-order process.
All we have to offer with shopping ease at ThornhillAutomotive.com.
Tag your new ride. Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride on the
Thornhill Motor Mile.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
Top of the 5th inning we go, and it's still a 5-4 lead for Mullens over Sandy River in this first elimination game of the day. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Robbie Mounts, our engineer, for today's contest. Again, coming up next, we have Man versus Madison. As there's a sharp hit ball and just gets over the head or off the glove of Matney at short, as Bailey will reach with a base hit to start out the top of the 5th inning. Matney almost was able to snow cone that ball in his glove, but it just trickled out. A great attempt by him. Now that'll bring up Isaac Shrewsbury. That's the first hit of the day for Bailey. He's now 1 for 3, and now Shrewsbury is 0 for 2. He's reached on an error both times that he's been up today. So he's been able to put the ball in play and make the Sandy River defense try and do something with it, and they've not been able to thus far. This one foul tipped back to the screen. That pitch puts Auvill into the 70-pitch count area. So this could possibly be his last inning of work. Shrewsbury now at 77 pitches through 4 innings, so you'd have to imagine, barring a very quick inning from him next time, that next inning he'll be pulled after a batter or two. Now the runner takes off for second base, throw over, and he's out. Bailey tried to sneak over to second base. Auvill noticed it at the last second, and great job by Matney getting over to cover the bag to get the tag out. We'll see it again here on our instant replay. And Mullens has been living fast and loose on the base path today. This time, though, they get hit for it as there's a pop-up towards short. Matney will make the grab, and that'll retire Shrewsbury for the second out of the inning. Not only that, that saves Auville a few more pitches now by getting that out at second base, and that'll bring up Chase Price now batting in place of Hunter Hill. Swing and a miss by Price. Price 0 for 3 in this tournament with 3 strikeouts thus far. This one lifted high in the air on the infield. Matney charging on for it. He'll make the grab, and that'll be out number 3. So another quick inning here for Auville and the Sandy River defense. They'll come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning with Mullens still leading 5-4. You're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Hi, I'm Casey Legg, and I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. And when I'm back home in Charleston, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that Golden Boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
What started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now Boone Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
Bottom of the 5th inning we head, and it's a 5-4 lead for the Mullens All-Stars against Sandy River. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer, as Shrewsbury deals. First pitch to Baker, slow roller. Took a weird hop on Wood at the last second, and that's going to be in for a hit for Baker as the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up this inning. And that one just took a bad hop on Wood that time, as he was there for the ground ball, and right as it got at the edge of the grass, it just jumped right up into his chest. That'll be the second hit of the day for Baker. And now you've got Jeremiah Graham, who's got an RBI single in both of his plate appearances today. That one's going to miss inside and get away, and moving over to second is Baker. So now the tying run in scoring position for Sandy River. They trailed 5-1 early in this contest. They fought back with 3 runs in the third. And now a big opportunity here with their cleanup hitter at the plate to try and tie this game up. There's a strike from Shrewsbury, 1-1, and Shrewsbury now has reached 80 pitches in this game. So he has very few pitches remaining here, trying to record an out or two before he leaves. That one's going to scoot and miss and get away, and now the tying run stands just 60 feet away for Sandy River here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Big 2-1 pitch here. That one misses and gets away. Here comes the runner to the plate. The throw is not in time. We're all square at 5 apiece. Great job by Chapman trying to get back to that in time. Got it to Shrewsbury, but it looked like the right call. Again, I'm right here on top of this at home plate, and I think the umpire made a good call that time. It was bang, bang, but it looked like Baker got in right underneath the tag There you see it on a replay. Yes, he definitely got in underneath that in time. Again, great job by Chapman and Shrewsbury covering there. But just a split second late to try and get Baker out, and now Graham will walk. And the go-ahead run is on base here for Sandy River. And this will likely be the last batter for Shrewsbury that he'll face, as his pitch count is now at 83. And it's going to be Peyton Lee, who's 0 for 1 against him today. He struck out in the first and walked in the third inning. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. You wouldn't be surprised to see Graham maybe take off here and just go for a straight steal at some point in this at bat. Again, he's got the speed to be able to do so. Nice backhanded stop there by Chapman as he fakes a throw over to first. And now that is pitch 85 for Shrewsbury. So this will be the last batter he'll face this afternoon before Mullens will have to go to their relief. There's a strike again on the outside corner, 1-2. Shrewsbury has 7 strikeouts on the afternoon, looking for number 8 here. That one gets away, and now the go-ahead run, Graham, moves into scoring position. So pass balls have hurt Mullens here in this bottom of the 5th inning thus far. Swinging, just getting a piece of it was Lee as he foul tipped it. And it hit the ground, so the count remains at 2-2. That one will miss and get away, and that'll move up the runner again as Graham gets into third. Much like with Baker. Again, Baker was able to move up on a couple of pass balls. And now the go-ahead run for Sandy River stands at third base with nobody out, and the count now hit towards second. That will give Sandy River the lead as McKinney will come up with it, throw to first, and Lee is retired. But now Sandy River is 3 outs away from pulling off the upset and moving on to tomorrow, as that'll be an RBI for Lee. He got the job done very well that time, and now after 90 pitches, Shrewsbury will exit the contest. And it looks like it's going to be Bailey coming in from center field here for Mullens to take over on the mound with 1 out and now nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So while he warms up, we'll step aside for a 60-second break and be back after this as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 119.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
What started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. Introducing BOONE Memorial Health, a modern state-of-the-art healthcare provider that has expanded its technology, capabilities, and footprint to meet the needs of our growing service area. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. Our commitment to the communities we serve goes even further as we look to the future to make our region a better place to live, work, learn, and play. We are now Boone Memorial Health. And for you and your family, we are bringing medicine.
Mason Bailey on the mound now for Mullens as first pitch to Owens is fouled right back into the screen, 0-1. Chris Kidd with you alongside me, Robbie Mounds, our engineer here on Video Productions today. Again, one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. But Sandy River has taken the lead with 2 runs already this inning. There's a massive pop up in on the infield. Van Dunk, great concentration by him in order to find that ball and retire Owens for the second out of the inning. Now that'll bring up Wolford for the second time. He walked in his last plate appearance. As Bailey deals, swing and a miss, 0-1. Again, Sandy River will have an opportunity to win this ball game in the top of the 6th inning. They trailed 5-1 today. They've scored the last 5 runs of this contest. And this would be a little bit of an upset, considering how well Mullens played in their first 2 games of this tournament. And Sandy River in their first tournament appearance in district play in Little League, along with several 10-year-olds on the roster. Bailey gets ahead quickly here in the count. 1 strike away from sending this to the 6th inning, where Mullens will need at least 1 run to keep the game going. There it is, swing and a miss from Wolford, and he's retired to end the bottom of the 5th inning. But an RBI ground out by Peyton Lee, along with a steal from home by Baker, has given Sandy River an opportunity here to move on to tomorrow if they can record 3 more outs and keep Mullens off the scoreboard. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia, has grown to become so much more. Introducing Boone Memorial Health, a modern state-of-the-art healthcare provider that has expanded its technology, capabilities, and footprint to meet the needs of our growing service area. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. Our commitment to the communities we serve goes even further as we look to the future to make our region a better place to live, work, learn, and play. We are now Boone Memorial Health. And for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
6-5, Sandy River leads Mullens as we go to the top of the 6th inning here in the first game of our triple header today. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me Robbie Mounts, our engineer. Again, whoever wins this game will move on to face either Madison or Man tomorrow. In another elimination game, the loser's season is over. And Sandy River, with 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, have now put the pressure back on Mullens. Mullens has the top of their order coming up. It'll be Henry Van Dunk to lead things off. Auville comes inside, and Van Dunk somehow got out of the way of that pitch. Count 1-0. Van Dunk today flew out to center field twice and singled on the infield. Auville now at 75 pitches, which adds more drama to this as we move forward. That pitch misses inside, 2-0. Again, Auville has pitched very well today against this tough Mullens lineup. But could his time be coming to an end? Slow roller towards short. Matney up with it. Not going to be in time as Van Dunk able to beat it out for his second infield hit of the game. Again, getting out of that left-handed batter's box, just such an advantage for him, too, on those little slow rollers. Matney made a nice play on the ball, but just wasn't going to have an opportunity there to really get Van Dunk with that speed he's got. Now you've got Braxton Knuckles coming up. Knuckles 1 for 3 today. A single to left, Fielder's choice, and that one goes right back towards Auville. Fields it, looked to second, throws to first, and what a play by Braden Matney. Somehow able to get over to that ball and make the grab, and even tag Knuckles in the process for the first out of the inning. Knuckles, though, does move the tying run over to second base now, and that'll bring up James Wood. Wood 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts, reached on an error. This one hit hard into left field, back towards the wall. It is off the wall. This will tie the game. Van Dunk comes to the dish, and Wood goes to second, and we're all even at 6 apiece. Again, he had the massive solo home run yesterday against Chapmanville, and now comes up with a huge rip here with 1 out and Mullens' season on the line, and James Wood delivers. Now here's Chapman, hits it towards third off the glove of Owens, but they'll hold Wood at third base as Chapman will reach to put runners at first and second. And that'll bring up Riker Shrewsbury now. That's pitch 79 for Auville. Pitch to Shrewsbury, chopped off of home plate. Tough play. Auville bare hand fields it, throws over Matney, makes another tough grab, but it is good enough for the second out of the inning. And now it'll be T.T. McKinney coming up, and now it looks like a substitution coming in here. I think it's Colt Blankenship going out to left field. And they're actually going to make the change here. I'm a little surprised by that. Auville still had 4 pitches remaining that he could pitch or throw here. But Sandy Rivers going to go to the pitching change now instead, with T.T. McKinney coming up to the plate. So while this pitching change takes place, we'll step aside for 60 seconds and be back after this as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
In Peytonville, there's lots of ways to save on auto insurance.
Really?
Yep. Very proud of that. With Smart Ride from Nationwide, they can get discounts for safe driving.
Does she get one?
Mrs. Carmichael, safest driver in Peytonville. Takes a lot of work and effort to be the safest driver in Peytonville.
What about this guy?
With Nationwide Smart Miles, the less he drives, the less he pays. The list of inspiring stories goes on and on.
I bet. I've never seen anyone do more with their retirement than you.
I concur.
Pitcher in now for Sandy River. Anthony Matney will take over as Auville lifted after 81 pitches. Could have gone against McKinney here, but Matney will come in here. And even Robbie Mounts talking about it during the break, maybe with a little bit more speed on the mound with Matney here in case McKinney tries to lay down a bunt, which we've seen him do a couple of times in this district tournament. Might give them the better chance for an out here. Count 1-0. McKinney takes a big rip and fouls it off. Graham. Count evens at 1-1. Mullens has tied the game on the RBI double by James Wood, who now stands at third base as the potential go-ahead run for Mullens. Chapman out at second base. Pitch misses high, 2-1. Sandy River trying to record a third out here, and then would only need 1 run to try and win this game in the bottom of the 6th inning. That one skips off the helmet of Sandy River's catcher Graham. Here comes Wood, and he'll score. And Mullens has answered back with 2 runs here in the top of the 6th inning, and they've retaken the lead at 7-6. And that took probably the worst possible hop it could have taken for Sandy River. It looked like it hit off of home plate, then went a mile in the air after it hit off of Graham's helmet. And Wood alertly broke for the base and was able to steal home. And now it's Sandy River who's just 3 outs away from elimination, as there's ball 4 to McKinney. And that'll bring up Mason Bailey, who is also the new pitcher in the game for Mullens. And he would absolutely love to pick up that run from third base right now to give himself and Mullens' defense a little bit of extra breathing room going into the bottom of the 6th. That one fouled straight back towards us, 0-1. Bailey today is 1 for 3. He grounded out to first base, reached on an error in the 3rd inning, and then singled to left field in the 5th inning. That one's going to miss over his head, 1-1, and now McKinney will take off for second base. So that takes away the force out at second. And now 2 runners in scoring position, so a base hit here could pay huge dividends for Mullens. That one skips in low. Nice stop by Graham to keep that in front of him. Again, you got speedy runners with Chapman and McKinney both on the base path right now, so you have to figure anything that might get away from Graham, Chapman's going to make an attempt to take home. Swing and a miss by Bailey, 2-2 now the count. Good fastball by Matney. This one lifted into right field. That's going to fall for a hit. That'll score Chapman. Here comes McKinney, and Mullens has taken a 9-6 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Great inside-out hitting there by Mason Bailey, taking that to right field. And 4 runs this inning now for Mullens, after they were just 2 outs away from elimination about 10 minutes ago. Now Isaac Shrewsbury stands in. He's 0 for 3 today, reached on an error twice and popped out as that one misses a little high, 1-0. Swing and a miss from Shrewsbury, a ball and a strike. Again, stay with us today. Approximately 30 minutes at the conclusion of this game, we'll have Man versus Madison in our second elimination game of the day, and then probably around 5:30 range, we'll have the championship game of the winners bracket between Chapmanville and Logan. The loser of that game will still be in the tournament, but the loser of these first 2 games, they will be done. And Shrewsbury foul tips it. Count now at 2-2. So Matney 1 strike away again from putting this inning away. But already 4 Mullens runs this inning have given them the lead back at 9-5, or 9-6 rather, excuse me. And Shrewsbury will foul this one out of play to the right. Bailey still standing out at second base. Once again, Shrewsbury gets a piece of it and fouls it away. That one skips in and misses. Graham able to stop it, but now the count will run full. Comes the payoff pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it here in the top of the 6th inning for Mullens. But they come up big with 4 hits and 4 runs to retake the lead at 9-6 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Sandy River needs 3 runs to keep their hopes alive. We'll be back after this 60-second break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 119.
A new day begins. And what happens today must be covered, reported, and passed on to everyone in the region we serve. We are journalists, staff writers, editors, storytellers. Who are we? We are HD Media, trustworthy and always here for the times we live in.
Start of the bottom of the 6th inning in a back-and-forth game here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer, as Mullens has retaken the lead 9-6 with 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning. Now they're 3 outs away from moving on to face either Mann or Madison tomorrow. And it'll be up to Mason Bailey on the mound, and it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Sandy River here in the bottom of the 6th as Bailey misses low 1-0. Braden Matney standing in. He struck out in both of his plate appearances today against Shrewsbury earlier. This one roped down the right field line, and that's going to be extra bases for Matney. And that's the way to start the bottom of the 6th if you're Sandy River. As that one gets all the way to the wall now, he's going to dig for third, and Matney will be in. Great hustle by Braden Matney to get all the way around the bases to third. And a triple to start the bottom of the 6th inning puts some life in that dugout for Sandy River. So Colt Blankenship will stand in now. Blankenship over 2 today, struck out and grounded out back to the pitcher. This one comes off the end of his bat and right at Van Dunk, and he'll make the grab for out number 1. So now Mullens 2 outs away from advancing, and that'll bring up Anthony Matney, or excuse me, it'll be Adams instead. Adams struck out in his last plate appearance. This one's going to miss behind him and get away. Matney will hold at third. And right now, if you're Sandy River, you're not really overly concerned with getting Matney in from third base. You're looking for base runners right now, trying to see if you can get that tying run to the plate. So unless that ball skips away and just runs all the way up the right field or left field side, I figure he's just going to hold still at third as Adams will foul that one off to the left. 1-1 now the count. Bailey rocks and fires. There's a swing and a miss from Adams. Now 1-2. Bailey looking for the second out of the inning. Here comes the 1-2. This one fouled off by Adams back into the screen. That was pitch number 13 for Bailey since he came in. There's a ball on the outside corner, 2-2. Again, Braden Matney standing at third after the leadoff triple down the right field line to start off the inning. A pop out to Van Dunk. And now Adams trying to get something going here for Sandy River. Here's the 2-2. That's going to miss way over the head of Chapman. Again, Matney holds still at third base, and the count runs full. Again, if Adams can draw a walk here, that would bring up Anthony Matney, the number 2 hitter, and it would bring the tying run to the plate. So a huge pitch here. That's going to hit Adams, and that'll put him on. And now you hear the life coming up from the Sandy River dugout. That will bring up Anthony Matney. He is 1 for 2 today. He walked in the first inning, singled to right field, and then grounded into a double play his last time up. And looked like Adams just running off that pitch that hit him there. Appears to be okay. Now this pitch number 17 upcoming for Bailey as well here. This one fouled into the screen 0-1. Reason I bring it up, if he gets over 20, if Mullens were to advance, he wouldn't be available tomorrow, but you wonder how much that's running through Coach Chapman's head at the moment. And the object is obviously getting through today, but you can't help yourself but thinking about the strategy for the rest of the week if you would happen to advance. That one skips and gets away. That'll allow the runner to move up to second. Matney doesn't even take his foot off the third base bag. He's not going anywhere right now. So now you've got 2 runners in scoring position, tying run at the plate. After Matney, you get to the heart of the order. So if Matney's able to reach here, this could make life really interesting. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch from Bailey, and now the count to 1-2. So he got ahead of Adams, 1-2, but wasn't able to put him away and ended up hitting him on a 3-2 pitch. Now it's 1-2 count to Matney. That's going to miss high and get away, but the runners will hold. Here comes the 2-2 from Bailey to Matney. That one's going to miss high as well, and now the count runs full. It's almost reminiscent of what happened with Adams a moment ago. Got ahead 1-2, but ended up losing him. Got ahead 1-2 here, and now the count full yet again. This one lifted in the air to left field, back towards the wall. It's over the head of the left fielder. 2 runs will score. Digging for second is Matney, and he'll be in standing up. And Sandy River refuses to go away here. It's now 9-8 in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 2 RBI double for Anthony Matney. And now that brings Baker to the plate. Caden Baker, he's had a good afternoon, 2 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning, singled to right field, then singled to left field. And this one's going to hit him in the back. And the runner's moving over to third, but I think he's going to have to go back to second, and he will. But that puts the winning run at first base now for Sandy River. And still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jeremiah Graham, 2 for 2 today. He had an RBI single in the first inning to center field, an RBI single on the infield in the 3rd inning, and was walked in the 5th inning. This game has swung back and forth like a pendulum over the last half an hour. Ooh, and Graham had a beat on that one and just missed as he fouls it straight back. Sandy River jumped out to a 1-0 lead early on. Then it was a 3-1 lead for Mullens. After that, Mullens built their lead to 5-1 before Sandy River was able to come back and get 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Then plated 2 more in the bottom of the 5th inning to take a 6-5 lead before Mullens fought back with 4 runs in the top of the 6th. Now Sandy River with 2 runs already here in the bottom of the 6th. Big swing again by Graham, but comes up empty. 0-2 now the count. Bailey's been ahead in the last 3 at-bats now, but hasn't been able to finish off Matney, Baker, but now trying to do so against Graham. And he does, strike 3 swinging. Big strikeout for Bailey, and now Mullens is 1 out away from moving on and eliminating Sandy River, but Peyton Lee will stroll to the dish here. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd, and had an RBI ground out to second base his last time up that gave Sandy River the lead. That one misses low. Great stop by Chapman. Again, anything that's low right now or that could get by could be very problematic, as you would have both base runners move into scoring position. The 1-0 to Lee. That one's going to hit him in the back of the helmet, and now the bases are full. And now time called here by Mullens to talk to the infield and try and settle Bailey down a little bit. A base hit would win the game for Sandy River now. But one more out will send Mullens on to tomorrow at 6 p.m. This has definitely been the most competitive and most dramatic game of this district tournament thus far. Sandy River in their first ever Little League District Tournament appearance as a team. As we mentioned, several 10-year-olds on this roster just to try and fill out the team. Mullens, big win over Madison on Friday and played Chapmanville very well yesterday. But now it all comes down to Owens here, as Austin Owens struck out and has popped out to first in his 2 plate appearances today. Hits it back up the middle. McKinney fields it, runs over to second, and Mullens survives and will move on to tomorrow with a 9-8 victory. Well, happy 4th of July, everyone, if you were with us for this game. An absolutely dramatic finish and dramatic game all the way around for Mullens and Sandy River. And Sandy River, first tournament appearance as a team, and boy, did they make an impression, fighting Logan for 4 innings before Logan pulled away on Friday and scaring the absolute daylights out of this Mullens club, who had to dig deep and find a way to get out of this game, and they were able to do so under extreme circumstances here with this heat and with the pressure Sandy River was applying all game long. But what a ball game between these two here today. And now Mullens will wait to see who will win against Mann and Madison coming your way next. It's going to be a tough one to follow for the rest of the day here. We've still got 2 games left, Mann and Madison at approximately 3:30 at the moment, and then it'll be Chapmanville and Logan to finish things off later today. But if either of those games is anywhere near as good as this one, we're in for a very good day here on Video Productions here from Chapmanville, West Virginia. But we're going to step aside for a break and then be back for the start of Mann versus Madison, and again in approximately about half an hour here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. But it's Mullens moving on with a 9-8 win over Sandy River here today. You're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.